thank you for joining the Global Premier Football Show. We're here live again to talk about football, the English Premier League. It was a fantastic weekend of football that ended with a Monday night football between Manchester United and Liverpool. But before we get to the Man United-Liverpool game, we're going to talk about what happened in the other games. There were a lot of surprises. There were a lot of unexpected results. This badge that I'm wearing here, I know Liverpool fans, Tottenham fans, all will be laughing at us, but it is what it is, right? I just can't, I don't know how I feel, but I will be gracious to talk about Chelsea today. And let's dive into it. Joined with me on the show again is my brother from Guadalajara, Mexico, Victor Cole. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show once again, brother.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get into this particular weekend. This is week 3 of the Premier League, 38 weeks. So we've played 3 weeks and 35 to go. And it's looking funny. The table is looking very, very funny. Unexpected standings on the table. But, we look at Tottenham starting the weekend's games with 1 goal, winning against Wolves. It was a very tough game for Spurs. I watched a bit of that game before I went out to coach Saturday here in Canada. It's funny that we live in different time zones and you're fighting hard to watch the Premier League that is played in a different time zone, right? So, but as be it as it may, I was able to catch a glimpse of the game. And Wolves came short by losing to Tottenham. And I think with that win, Tottenham went top of the league, which was just a temporary, top of the league position until Arsenal came back to grab their position. It's like Arsenal is looking good. Anyway, before we get to the Gunners, Crystal Palace, thumped Aston Villa again 3-1. Zaha doing his Zaha things. I think Zaha is more of a mature player right now than what he used to be, let's say 3, 4, 5 seasons ago, even after he came to light from Man United, right? And he's a Crystal Palace legend, I would say. And Everton, Nottingham Forest, 1-1. It's not yet going very well for Everton at the moment. They have not really kicked in. I hope it goes well for them for the sake of their coach, Frank Lampard, just because he was an ex-Chelsea player and a Chelsea legend. Fulham, what a game. Fulham and Brentford. That's a London derby, right? And Fulham is really putting up a good fight. They're really putting up a good fight in the league. They don't want to go down. I think maybe changing the manager, the last time they went down helped. I don't know. But also, I think they play a different approach right now. They were fearless against Liverpool, right? And Liverpool was lucky to get a draw against them. And now they've also were able to play and stand against the physical aspect of Brentford's football.
Yeah,
I thought Brentford was going to win the game, but I saw London derbies. You must fight to the very end, right? And Leicester, Southampton. Does Southampton change your mind? I remember what you said about them.
I still maintain they will be relegated. That's still what I feel. Sometimes we might not anticipate certain result, and I think it's just one of these games. Maybe they wanted it more, but we should also keep in mind that Leicester are a team. They probably don't know the expectation for the season. So I'll put them in the category of Everton right now. Looks like they are not fully prepared, even though they are established Premier League side. But I
Hmm.
think they are still finding a balance, within the team itself. So many
Yeah.
players are expected to leave or wants to leave, and I'm just largely, particularly about Leicester, I'm disappointed. Rodgers knew that their goalkeeper was likely to leave, yet there's no replacement, like a false team goalkeeper. I know Ward
Hmm.
is it's been on loan a few, was
Yeah.
previously at Liverpool, I believe. He was on loan before he joined them, but I don't think he's ready for Premier League challenge. I mean, it's okay if we compare him to Ramsdale, being in Championship to but Ramsdale had Premier League experiences before he went down to the Championship. I just think Ward wasn't ready to step into Schmeichel's gloves, and I think they should have prepared for that. Tielemans has 1 year left on his contract. He wants to leave the club. I think, from what I understand, they have now received an incredible offer for him. However, it should have been sourcing for replacement. I was saying to someone the other day, Wings, other Wings is still at Spurs. It's frozen out of the team right now. You could bring that guy in,
Hmm.
right? You could bring Wings into Leicester City. He's gonna play well. Navas, Killer Navas at PSG. If you offer that man a decent wages, he's gonna join, and
I, I
at a very cheaper price too. And
I
then
never
why?
thought about him.
Yeah, and then why are we starting? Why are you starting 35 years old Vardy when you have Daka and Iheanacho on the bench? For me, all of those things. And why are you holding on to Fofana? You dropped Fofana for that game because his head wasn't in the match, right? Just strike a deal with Chelsea, get this across the line, ask Chelsea to loan you Chalobah for the rest of the season, just like Brighton did. Get Chalobah, sell Fofana, let's move on. It's just a guy that is older now and making decisions, and your team is not playing well. So for
Hmm.
me, I think performance of the team is is probably down to the way the manager himself is handling it.
Yeah.
What is Vestager doing on the bench? And Amate is starting. Our bad could be how bad will is Vestager and this guy Soyuncu. Soyuncu was on the bench. So you're benching perhaps maybe the finest player in Turkey right now. You know, you're benching that guy for Amate, who is not a defender. I mean, just imagine all of his signings during the last season, they have been absolute mess. And you have Madison attracting Newcastle's offers. Tillemans, maybe Arsenal will come for him towards the end of the window. We don't know. The goalkeeper is gone. Your striker, the absolute shambles. What are you doing? Make a decision. Ayoze Perez, what is he doing at Leicester? Ask him to find a new club. Ismail Assar is still at Watford. You're telling me that if you put in a bid of 25 million for Sa, Watford is not going to sell? That's a boy with Premier League experience. You, Ayoze Perez should find a new club. Bring in Sa. Let's move on. There are some
I'll get
decent
you.
players.
I'll get you Brendan Rodgers' number after this show.
I mean, it's complete madness that is holding on to players. Some of them they're not good enough. Some of them
Hmm.
that do not want to be in the team. Let them go. Move them on. I do not think Ismail Assar is not an upgrade on Ayosha Perez, and I do not think getting Kepa in is a bad idea. I mean, it's a fantastic idea. Get him in, number one goalkeeper. Move on. And Vardy had to go. I mean, put Vardy on the bench. He's 35 years old.
He just signed an extension.
Yeah, which is ridiculous in itself.
I mean, his goals. I mean, his numbers are what's making them,
I get it.
maybe
I
doubt.
get it.
Do we sell this? No, they're not selling him. They just gave him an extension. So
But
it's
why?
statistics that says
Why is
in
that?
Vardy
I don't care
in
if it
Leicester.
stays. Why is Verde starting ahead of Iheanacho, and Daka will actually have the speed to cope with the tempo? Because I think a team in Premier League that does not have enough firepower to attack, especially with pace,
Hmm.
you will suffer.
Yeah. Anyway, Anyway, let's move on a little bit. I know Southampton is trying to prove you wrong, and Joe Boyce in Southampton, the Nigerian international from Rangers. Uh, it's not bad, It's nice to have your countrymen as
They
well
have a
playing the Premier
decent
League.
I mean, decent number of young players, and I
Yeah,
think they'll probably take time to probably gel together at Southampton. But
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see as the season progresses.
Okay, let's move on to the last game of Saturday. On Saturday was Bournemouth against Arsenal. Um, I mean, I expected Arsenal to win the game.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting any form of challenge from Bournemouth, and I think Bournemouth will be relegated. Uh, I think so. I see their lineup. I mean, no offense, but I guess no recognized. There's no recognized, you know, player for me in Bournemouth's lineup against
You
Arsenal on
have
Saturday.
no respect for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, come on, man. I have respect for Sri Lanka, but he couldn't thrive in Chelsea. Went to Liverpool, could not. Went to Bournemouth, went down with them, came back up. I mean, he's not Mitrovic. So what do you expect? Is he scoring goals for them? Has he
I,
scored this season?
I think they will go down too. I mean, I think
Uh,
they were number one team I picked to go down. Arsenal was just too they were just too powerful. I love the fluidity of Arsenal's attack. It's something to
It's quick and fluid. That's
yeah.
what you.
I think Ateta may finally found exactly what he was looking for in terms of the way the attack moves.
Yes.
It suits Martinelli, the way they move around, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still impressed by Saliba. Is every game he kept getting better, and I think if they can all stay fit, it's weird that White is playing right back.
It is.
It
He's
is
a center
weird,
back.
but it looks to be working.
It works. I mean, it's like in Brighton when you have these 6 foot players playing right back. Bonds that went to Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
He
he's
played there last season, playing the left back.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
He
know.
so you're like, wow, tall players like that. We never believe that. I mean, normally or traditionally, tall players are playing the center back positions, right? Short of defenders, players, fullbacks, right and left. But there's been a twist, Brighton having these tall players playing as their fullbacks. But anyway, I mean, Arsenal has been very impressive.
3 wins in
I
three.
sorry, yeah, 3-3. They are the only team in the league that has won 3-3, and I'm sure that's a lot of confidence for them.
But we still don't have them for top four, right? Do we?
Personally, I don't have them for top four. I don't have Arsenal in top four. I told you last season they were not going to end in top four, and they did not. Last season they did not play in Europe. Tottenham played in Europe last season, and they still ended up in top four. Arsenal will be playing in the Europa League this season, and we'll find out how far they will go. Once they play Thursday nights and they come back and play Sunday, and then maybe get an FA Cup or League Cup in the midweek, and then go again. So we'll see the depth of their squad. I think they also have depth from those players that have come in from the bench. I think they have depth, but it is the sustainability of that. And also it's a World Cup year. So I don't know how many players in Arsenal will be going to the World Cup. I think just Jesus. They're just very, very few. So that could also help them staying out of injury,
They should actually, I think they should be planning for that because one of their challenges last season, after the international break, they they had 3 losses on the bounce. I believe Crystal Palace, Brighton, all defeated them
yeah.
before they go down win against Chelsea and went on to win 3 games in a row. And
Yeah.
then their neighbor came by, Spurs, and Spurs killed them before Newcastle finished them off. So
It's
they need
gonna
to
be an
watch out for
interesting
that.
season.
Once there's a
Yeah.
break in Arsenal, there's always a problem somehow.
Yes. Yep. 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 Anyway, um, all the best to Arteta and whatever he's doing with the team. It's um.
There's no chance I'm wishing them luck.
I mean, now you just said if I lacked respect for Solanke, where's the respect for Arteta? I mean, as a coach, I wish him all the best, but that doesn't mean that he's going to, that he's just going to win the league. It's looking beautiful and rosy for them, right?
It
But
is.
at the end of the day, once we start getting to December again, play through, and it's funny looking at the way the season is going to run. There'll be a break for the World Cup, and then they will come back, and they'll still have to play the Christmas, frenzy games, and then into the new year. So we'll see how all that plays for them. Um, but I like the way they have played. They are full of energy, both from the back, both in the middle. I think Partey and Xhaka have hit up a good, partnership in the middle, as a number 6 and 8 in the 4-2-3-1 formation. Odegaard, always in the box. The goal he scored, he was right in the box. It's not like those that would drift away. And anyway, they are all in for it. So wish them the best wherever they are going to finish. But now you know that they will not finish top four. Anyway, let's move on. Sunday. What happened on Sunday? It was drama. First game of the first two games of the Sunday scheduled were Chelsea playing Leeds United and then West Ham playing Brighton. Now we went to Elland Road and Brighton visited the London Stadium at West Ham. Um, let's talk about West Ham. Honestly, I think they've been a disappointment. Uh, for me, from what I know of them and how they play, they have very good players. They have very, very good players, but I think Brighton plays much more better football than West Ham. It's not even I think it's obvious. What do you make out of the Sunday games?
Yeah,
Before we go to Chelsea, let's talk about West Ham.
yeah. I didn't see the game actually, but like we always said, Graham Potter's is a proper coach, and he's got this his team playing almost the same way week in week out.
Hmm.
Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. I,
Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge for West Ham is Antonio. I think he's how do I put it? Probably his ability to destroy backline is kind of fading away, you know, to some extent.
Hmm.
And getting Skamaka to get into the team quickly, understand the way the team plays in Premier League. They're trying to ease him into the team now. I think that
Hmm.
they had the I think it was a Conference League playoff
Hmm.
midweek,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
think Skamaka scored. If I'm not mistaken, that was
Yes,
his
it
first
did.
goal for the team. So I
Yeah.
think West Ham will be fine as the season progresses. They actually secured a signing of Emerson from Chelsea, 13 million plus 2 million add-on. So we should have his medical any moment from now. And
Oh
because
wow.
the loan, I believe they loaned this boy Masuaku to a Turkish team, so they
Hmm.
need a cover for Cresswell. And then I mean I think the
Don't
position is
don't
up for
tell me
grab.
don't tell me Emerson is going there as a backup. He no 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 no.
Cresswell is a decent player. It's gonna take more than just your Emerson from Chelsea Champions League winner and you're into the team. It's gonna have to fight for his place.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I think it's a decent option for them
Yeah.
for 13 million pounds for what is still. So I think as the season progresses, the will, I mean, we expect them to push now for Europa League again because
Hmm.
I think they did well when they got to Europa League quarterfinal, I believe. or semifinals.
Yeah, they got to the, I think, semi-final, I think.
Semifinals, yeah, they lost to Frankfurt, who went on to win. So I
Yes.
think as time goes on, they should be okay. Maybe a few players here and there, and they should be fine. But Brighton, I mean, I wasn't thinking they would lose a game. I was hoping maybe for a draw, and
Hmm.
but so far that's I believe that's 2 wins and 3 for Brighton so far.
Yeah, that's why I think they are
They
in the
they've
top
had a
four.
great start, yeah,
In the top four.
yeah.
Right in top four. Anyway, well, I'm looking at the stats here for the West Ham Brighton game, and it shows, I mean, it was a 50-50, percent, or, balance in ball possession. And West Ham had more shots on goal, uh, had more shots on target. Um, but at the end of the day, you still wonder what really happened.
Trossard. Trossard is a key player because of the way he plays. So Trossard
Yeah.
is this guy that has maybe he's the freest player in the squad, and he
Hmm.
can move anywhere. He can drop deep. He can go forward. He's got the pace. He's got the passes. He knows how to find his teammate.
Yeah.
I think he's an amazing player for them. I would not be shocked if a team try to prize him away towards the end of this week. I would not be shocked if there's a news of a club bidding for Trossard, but we'll see. But I think
Yeah.
it's a vital member of Brighton's team.
He is. He is. I think they have their coach is so good that the team gels. I mean, they all play proper football. You can't just pick one player, honestly, not just only Trossard. You see the Argentine midfielder they have, McAllister, you know, English name, but Argentine national. So you look at him, I think and also Pascal Gross is also another good player that that they have there. And then
And Caicedo.
yeah, and then Caicedo. So these guys, they also play with energy. They are fluid in movement of the ball. I remember last season we struggled against them. We couldn't beat them in both legs. It was difficult for us to beat Brighton, and I think we tied the games, and Brighton was a team as like, okay, we'll beat Brighton, and we will get closer to finishing in top four early as possible, or even in the third position, but we couldn't. We couldn't finish up games, and you wonder why. And I think it's because of the way they play, and also because they have a very good coach too. And they were playing a 3-5-1-1 formation, you know. So at the end, I mean, individual performances also come out, coupled with team play, right? And they got the best of West Ham, unfortunately. But as you said, and they also got this new player from Villarreal, Pervis Estupinian.
Oh,
I
the left
think he,
back.
yeah,
That would be the return for Cucurella, right? STPN
yes,
is a very
yes,
aggressive player too.
he is.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
watched him
know. I
in
didn't
the
know that.
Europa League last year. Was it Champions League? It was Champions League.
It was in Villarreal,
Yeah,
right?
Villarreal. Yeah, he played. He was very
Wow,
good.
that's a massive. I mean, again, this is what we're talking about. When a team like Brighton go for Caicedo, went for Cucurella, and they probably quadruple their money,
Hmm.
within a space of one season, sold him for over 60 million. And the same thing with Caicedo. I believe they said Caicedo was actually on the radar of Manchester United before.
Mm.
But again, when you're coming from a smaller club, the big clubs do not want to take the risk because they don't know how you will behave at the top level.
Yes.
And everything comes into play, the player's character, Who is he? What does he do? How does it
Personality.
behave? Yeah. So if they don't have enough intel or confidence that you will gel quickly and behave yourself, they don't want to go for you. But then a smaller team goes for those players, and within a season, that's 50, 60 million. It's
Yeah,
crazy, but that's football world for you.
exactly. Well, that's let's see where they will end up. They're top four right now. They're actually not top four. They are fifth on the table. They've won two, drawn one, 7 points. So
They're
wow,
yet to lose.
they're yet to lose. Yeah, all in the same page, on the same page with Man City, rubbing shoulders with Man City. You know, you got two draws and two wins and one draw, and we got two wins and one draw, right? Leeds United, the same thing.
Same thing
That's
with Leeds. Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, now we go to the main thing, right? The one that makes your heart
Can
bleed.
we skip it?
Not today. We're not skipping it. We are not skipping it today. So you so what happened to Chelsea? Honestly.
Everything happened. Everything that you could imagine happened.
Mm,
I would just say this. Quick, just few observation
yeah,
before the back pass that led to that home goal.
yeah.
There was a
It
conversation
was
of
not
like
a, it was not an own goal. It was a first goal from
yeah, sorry. Um, Before that back pass, there was
yeah.
like a heated conversation between James and Thiago Silva. I don't know what they were talking about, but they were arguing before that happened. And then Gallagher got the ball a few seconds later, passed to Silva, Silva to Mendy. Now, I want to believe that it is your idea as coaches instructing goalkeepers to play out from the back. Because I cannot, in my life, think Mendy shouldn't have cleared the ball. It doesn't make any sense, right? When you receive a back pass, you already probably shadow around you, see where you want to put the ball before you receive it, right? And now,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have an option, don't take more than one touch, right? Stop it if you want to control it, and then kick it or throw it. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't make you look rubbish. It doesn't make you look like a bad goalkeeper. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot play out from the back if you don't think you can do it. It's not a guy that's good with the ball at his feet. And
Yeah.
this is not the first time. This is not a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might be saying, "Oh, drop in for Kepper," but what I don't want to do, yeah, but there's been some people saying, "Oh, drop in for Kepper."
What?
You might do that for an outfield player, but I do not know what I would do to the confidence of a goalkeeper. If you
You
drop
don't
men,
even do that.
yes. If you drop Mendy because of is him not playing properly, then we might have a massive problem. So I think
Absolutely.
we still have to stick to with him. What I would say, if I were Tuchel, except Tuchel, I'm not sure if Tuchel's will give it the instructions or you have to
Mm-hmm.
play from the back. Otherwise, if I'm Tuchel, I'll tell them whoever passed the ball to Mendy, £10,000 fine. I don't seriously. I don't, because you cannot gift goals in the Premier League. We were okay. We were not taking our chances, but we were okay before the goal.
Oh
The
my
moment
goodness.
that goal happened, the entire stadium rose and the momentum shifted, and that killed us. So again, I think that's for me. That's a bad thing to do. We are
Mm.
not playing well, but we could probably grind down result 1-0 at the end of the day, maybe
Mm-hmm.
2-1. But letting them have that gift kill the morale of the team and also destroy. I mean, whatever you're thinking, even the manager like, oh, not again, not again. So for me,
So let,
Mandy needs to fix that aspect of his life. Otherwise,
yes.
there'll be so. I mean, he's negotiating a new contract now. What would Toboli say? You're asking me for 100K a week because I think Mandy's about maybe 50 grand a week. He's probably one of the lowest paid players.
What?
Yeah, because of how they got him, it was a cheap buy.
Wow.
So because it's not a Champions League winner,
Wow.
it's negotiating a new contract. Actually,
Wow.
is demanding for reasonable amount of money, and that conversation is on the sideline. But if you ask me for 120 grand a week, and you make that mistake, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to stall the conversation for a new contract for now, because I have Kepa on 175 grand, and no one is going to take him on loan because they cannot afford it.
Wow.
Right? So
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm pissed off. I mean, that
Hold
game,
on, hold on,
I
hold
lost
on,
it.
hold on, hold on. Let me tell you something. Yes, we tell them, as coaches, we want to play good football, right? And that's why we tell goalkeepers to play out from the back. It's just a synchronization. That's why some coaches do go for goalkeepers who can really play from the back because of their playing style, because of the coach's playing style. And Chelsea has always wanted to play the right way, and it has taken us time to get to this point. Peter Cech never played out from the back, you know. The only player that we came out trying to play out from the back actually was when Mauricio Sarri came, right? And then we had Kepa, right? And then we started trying that. I think that was the first time we started trying to implement that in a full scale. Prior to Mauricio Sarri coming, we had Conte. You never played out from the back. But the thing is this, when you play out from the back, is because also the center forwards you have are not those who are like Didier Drogba and Diego Costa. So you have no option. You play the long ball, the center backs will win it and they'll come back to you again. So you play out from the back. We are able to keep possession of the ball and we progressively move
But
with the
not
ball.
when you're under pressure.
Now, I am telling, okay, now I agree with you. I'm not going to excuse Mendy from that error because that was a primary school error from a world-class goalkeeper like him, because Mendy has turned into a
It's not the
world-class
first
goalkeeper.
time.
It's not the first time. It's like, okay, another player that I can bring into the picture is Alisson. Alisson sometimes makes some mistakes like, what? The most expensive goalkeeper at one point, right? So, but the thing is
Before
this,
Kepa, yeah.
before Kepa, yes, before Kepa came in. Now, when he should know better. I was reading, Tuchel's reaction after the game, when they asked him about the mistake and about the goalkeeper, it's like, I don't need to tell him about it because he knows he should know better. And I'm going to explain something on the technique that he tried to do, to execute at the time he made that mistake. So Aronson already jumped. So the moment Aronson jumped, it was for him to take the touch and push the ball forward. That's dribbling. If you want to dribble, don't dribble and stay in the same place. He dribbled and stayed in the same place, ball stuck to his feet. I tell young players, outfield players, if you dribble someone, move into the next space. If you stay there, you will lose the ball because the person's going to come back. No one wants to be fooled twice. So Aronson jumped, then he didn't move the ball under him because the moment he jumped, he still had the time to move the ball forward and then play the ball or clear it. But what happened? The ball stuck to his feet. Yeah. Aronson came down from the jump, took the ball from him, and scored. Now, we are asking, why is this happening? Why did he do that? I mean, it comes back again to our players not being able to complete a task and focusing on the game. What exactly is needed from him at that time? There was no pressure when he received it.
No, there was not.
But afterwards came the pressure. And that is where it really hurts. Because if he was under pressure, he would have played it once. So that is that overconfidence that can sometimes set in when a team has so much possession of the ball that people start losing focus. And that is what the last person you want to lose focus in a game is your goalkeeper. So that's what happened. But moving forward, goal number 1. In the space of 4 minutes, goal number 2 came. Can you explain that? I mean, what?
Well, see, we have to also consider that Tuchel, in my opinion, is making some tactical errors. I'm not sure how tall Rodrigo is, but I know that for that guy to have scored such header next to James, it was just pathetic. I mean, one thing I'll say, it was a poor marking. But overall, the job we're asking James to do maybe is not what he wants to do, right? I understand the need for the manager to, you know, shake things up and move things around. But if James cannot, you know, man-mark Rodrigo, right?
Yes.
In a set pace, what are we doing? What are we doing? So it wasn't just poor in defense. It was also bad in attack because of his position. To get the best out of James, he's got to play a right wing back. That's where he plays. That's how he shined. The moment we brought in Aspilicueta and we moved him to right wing back, he had a shot on target. He was busting forward. So why does the manager limit the ability of the player to attack and stuck him in defense? And before
I asked the same question.
Yes, and then we are playing Ruben. Ruben has been around for a while. It's been a few loans. I know Ruben is maybe versatile player, could play few positions. However, it doesn't do any position. It doesn't play well consistently, even for 2 games in a row. That has been his problem. The problem of Ruben is to be able to repeat the same performance from last game and again this week, and then the following week. That's what makes you play for a top club. So I don't get the idea of putting Chalobah on the bench, putting Aspi on the bench, and playing James as a right center back.
I'm going to tell you why he did that. It doesn't make sense. It is not what he should have done. I am in agreement with you that was a selection mistake in terms of the first 11 that were on the pitch to start that game. Ruben had a good game against Spurs. And that's why he played him against Leeds. But other than that, tactically, I will agree with everything that you've said. James is not, please, we want to score goals. We want to create chances. We're playing in a back 3. We need our wing backs to take on players and send in crosses. Let's not then, when they're sending the crosses, then we can do what? See something to talk about for the strikers or forwards who are not finishing it.
PSG are playing the same formation, 3-4-3 right now.
Yeah.
And you could see Mendes and Hakimi, the way to supply those front 3 players. I know we do not have the same dynamic 3, but you can compare James with Hakimi, and you can compare Mendes with Correa, right?
Agreed.
Those guys have the same ability to deliver, to attack the opposition's goal with their skills. Why do you limit James to be a right center back? And I know people talk about, even myself, I question the formation sometimes, like, well, why don't we switch to a back 4? But then you watch the way PSG plays with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe in attack, This guy's what's this guy's name? The Italian guy.
Verratti?
Verratti in the midfield with the new boy Vittino. Actually, Vittino was one time at Wolves on loan, I believe.
Yeah.
Have them both in the midfield, and the way they are playing with
You know,
Ramos and Marquez at the back, it's just amazing. I mean, 3-4-3 can work, but you have to put the right players in those positions.
yes, that's basically how it will be efficient for any team. Now, my problem with this game, which we played against Leeds, was just the personnel in those positions. As you just mentioned, Rhys James should be playing wing back, week in, week out. We cannot have Chaloba, we cannot have Aspie on the bench, and you're playing Rhys James. For what purpose? For him to send in 50, 60-yard passes or what? What's the purpose? I don't see any purpose in James playing as a right centre back for Chelsea at any given time. At any given time, whether we have a red card or whether we have, at any given time, there's no need for James to be playing as a right centre back. Secondly, there's no need for Loftus-Cheek to be on the wing back position at any given time. We need physical presence in the midfield. So if he's going to fight for a place in the team, he's got to be in central midfield. He has to be fighting for his position in central midfield because he has the physical presence. That is one thing I like about Loftus-Cheek, because he's got the physical presence. He's got the skills to dribble. He can shake off the markers or opposition. He is the only one that is physically present, or that has the physical presence in Chelsea's midfield. Of all the midfielders we have, all the rest. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I said to him, this is what we're lacking, okay? One, we don't have distributors in this formation. We don't have distributors, rather, midfielders that can distribute the ball. Look at Mount, look at Jorginho, look at Gallagher. They are not distributors. They cannot hit 40, 50-yard passes at any time. They are all ball-carrying midfielders. All our midfielders are all ball-carrying. Kovacic is a ball-carrying midfielder. Jorginho ball carries and makes small 5-yard passes. That's it. Gallagher is a ball-carrying midfielder. They just dribble. N'Golo Kante is the only holding midfielder, the only number 6 in the team.
And the entire team.
But when he goes up, he's a ball-carrying midfielder. No one hits passes.
On that note,
Lampard, like Cesc Fabregas. So that's the problem we're having with our midfielders. And that is why I think that a back three will not work for Chelsea this season. Why I'm saying this is this. Remember when we won the league with Antonio Conte playing back three, the type of players we had. There's no Victor Moses on the right. There's no Fabregas in the middle, and there's no Diego Costa up front, chasing, tearing down, intimidating defenders, bullying them, making them feel little. Can you tell me that, do you think Van Dijk can match with the energy that Diego Costa brings at Diego Costa's peak at Chelsea when we won the league? I don't think so.
Fair
so
point.
What should we do? We have a holding midfielder, we have a number 6. What we also forget is that N'Golo Kante has been box to box for almost how many years now? 2016 with Leicester till date. That's 6 years. Right?
Yeah.
And he's a human being running up and down every single game. The only midfielder that does that in the entire world.
That's why I told you I'm upset. I am. Because that's not even what killed, whatever. If the manager understands that we have a problem, why is the problem not being addressed? Okay, for example, we've got Kovacic, was a robust, ball carrier in the team.
Yeah.
You have Kante. Both of those two guys, they have had injury issues, over a season now. They're, In today, they have tomorrow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jorginho and Kante, they've got a year left on their deals.
Yeah.
So those are our three top senior midfielders,
Yeah.
and two of them are always on the sick bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the manager to then say after the game that the midfield is not an area is looking into, and to justify playing Gallagher in the midfield because he think is the closest player to Kante, for me, that is ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. Now, we've tried this midfield, remember, in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
We tried this midfield against Arsenal. What happened in the first half? 2-0. What happened in the first half of this game? 2-0. It's not because Gallagher is not a good player, but Gallagher in a double pivot in the midfield is terrible next to Jorginho.
He is.
Jorginho is a guy that needs you to actually
to do the
support.
work for him.
Yeah, you have to support him. You have to do the work for him.
I
It
agree
doesn't
with you.
work for you. And
I
Gallagher
agree
doesn't
with
know
you.
how to close down those spaces. So our midfield was entirely open for Leeds.
It was. It was. It was. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, if we, with all this, my friend told me yesterday, we all have number eights in the team. We only have one number six, and that is Ngolo. The rest are number eights. And then we have two number 10s that are also playing out of position.
Out of position.
Mount and Kai, they're number 10s, playing out of position. Why haven't we switched to a formation that should be able to accommodate these players? Even if you want to play with a false number 9, then you already have a proper number 10 that can be able to also fit the false number 9. Now, even Ziyech can play in a number 10. That's another topic. But we're talking about Kai and Mount, who have been the mainstay of this team for these first 3 games of the season. Now, another thing is this, physically, we're not able to compete. Do you know that Leeds ran 10 kilometers more than the entire Chelsea team?
They did.
10 kilometers more.
They wanted it more. They wanted the game. They were ready for it.
Oh my goodness. When I saw the stats, 10 kilometers more than Chelsea. That tells you that we were dragging, which means we cannot compete against Arsenal. We cannot compete against these teams that are running and everything. So it comes back again. If we are to do well, we're going to scrap this back 3. With the midfielders we don't have midfielders to play back 3 because we don't have midfielders to defend the back 3.
I don't think we should scrap it. What I'm thinking is this. Chelsea's problem is sensible transfers. Now, keep in mind that this man has yet to bring in his own midfield player. You know, his signings were the players we've seen so far this season. Because as far as I'm concerned, Lukaku is not a signing. So this is the first time he's trying to work something out with Chelsea. Sensible transfer for Chelsea will be Ruben Neves. If you have, if you, because I think getting a striker, we've tried different strikers over the years. If you don't have a Lampard or a Fabregas, they will suffer, and that's what we've seen. Mm-hmm. And when we have strikers with Lampard or Fabregas in the team, they did well. When strikers that we bought without those guys suffered, right? Mm-hmm. Because those guys have a certain quality that a striker demands. And when you can feed a beast, is more likely to deliver, right? Mm-hmm. The same thing will happen to Aubameyang if you don't have someone to supply him. Because as I understand, the deal for Aubameyang is closed. So a sensible transfer for Chelsea will be Ruben Neves.
Not to cut you off. We're not going to look. Wolves is not going to give us Ruben Neves. You know that for sure.
Why not?
Of course, they want to compete. They want to compete. They will not give us Ruben. They will not give us Ruben Neves.
If I'm Toboli today, is that? But the problem is Tuchel. If I'm Toboli today, because the agent is the same agent of Ronaldo, and Toboli has had meeting with them a few times, I'll get on the phone and make the deal happen. It will happen. Mendes will find Wolverhampton another player. I can assure you from the Portuguese league, it will.
Yeah.
Because Ruben Neves will hand more money. He's gonna, the agent's gonna get some commission. They will make the day happen. 45 million, 50 would do it. You need a
Okay.
Ruben Neves in that midfield.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need players that can play. Look at Jorginho. Can you look at your right on the right to the right of your screen? Okay. Yes, he's got accuracy in passes. We don't take that from him. That is like short 5-yard passes and all of that. But look at his long balls. Nothing. Shots on target. Nothing. Just nothing. Just 0, 0, 0, 0. Long balls, which in this formation, you should be able to get players that play long range passes. We don't have that. That's for Jorginho, right? Or look at Gallagher. I mean, even if you look at Gallagher's hit map, he did more work than Jorginho. He did more work than Jorginho.
Remember, during the preseason, I told you, I said, I'm not sure if it was you, but I was saying the moment N'Golo Kante comes back into that friendly against Udinese, our problems will disappear.
I know you told me that. Yeah.
Our problem will disappear. And the same thing happens.
That.
The problem will disappear because there is Kante. And everybody forgets the fact that we need. So maybe they were thinking of Declan Rice right now. And Declan Rice is not going to move this season. Maybe they're waiting for him. But you can now wait for Rice and destroy. Because previously, we were thinking Declan Rice would probably go to Manchester United, But since they got Casemiro now, I don't think that's an open chapter. So the only next destination for Rice will remain Chelsea. Maybe United already understand that position, but not this season. But we can now wait for Declan Rice to come back home and destroy this entire team. You can still play Declan Rice. There's Milinkovic Savic out there. You can bring him in. You can bring in Neves. You can all those guys, because you need players. Again, look at the midfield of PSG. 2 small players. But what they do with the ball makes it very easy for the team.
That's why I said those PSG midfielders can pass the ball. They can pass the ball. Yeah. Our midfielders cannot
pass the ball. Yes.
We only do ball carrying. We dribble, we lose the ball, we start defending. We dribble, lose the ball, start defending. We get into shooting positions. No one shoots anymore. No one rebounds. No one, they just like pass the ball to the side.
When Fabregas is on the ball, Diego Costa is already running into space.
He's already making his run.
Yeah, because he knows wherever I am, this pass will find me.
I think we just need to. I think we just need to, for the meantime, because let's say, for example, personally, what I'm trying to do here is I'll switch this formation. I play back four. Play 2 holding midfield, play number 6 and a number 8, switch to 4-2-3-1. That's what I would do. Because that is when you have someone who is constantly protecting the back four. And then the number 8 pushes the ball. And we have the number 10, and we have the number 11, and we have the number 7, and we have the number 9. So even at this point that we don't have a proper number 9, we can still play with a false 9. Now, if I look at our attack, look at this guy here, Kai Havertz here. Here. 6.3 rating.
Absolutely shambles.
Sterling, same thing, 6.4 rating. And I was like, I told you, Kai Havertz, he's good. People like try to make a lot of excuses for this kid. He came from Germany. He just came from the neighborhood Germany. Argentines and Brazilians move all the way from another continent into another new country, and they are firing and they are playing. Now, I don't want to take away the mental stress that a player goes through when he moves and relocates. But you've had 1 full season, almost 2 full seasons, and yet still, his level of play, he's got
2 full seasons.
2 full seasons. That is 2 years away from his contract, and his level of play, his speed, his intensity, his just, I don't know, man. Honestly, I'm not his fan at the moment because of the way he plays. The physical involvement in the game is nowhere. I said it before, the last two episodes. We counter attack, it breaks down on Kai Havertz. Sterling is the one making more runs than these guys in the upfront. The only thing with Sterling is that he needs to like finish a little bit more, shoot a little bit earlier. He takes too many touches, dribbles, have another touch, takes another touch, and then goes wide.
How did Messi Man get a 7.1 rating?
I mean, maybe it was when he dropped into the middle because there was a time we switched formation, right? And then he dropped into the middle.
Messi Man get away with criticism all the time. I'll say this.
He does.
We have to, yeah, and one of the things I said is with Mount, I know he can score goals himself, but I want Messi Mount to increase the key passes, right? Like
that's the thing.
I am giving you a goal. Be the guy that supplies the attack. Make it happen. Make those strikers want you. Make them look for you. Make them scream your name all the time. Make them look into your eye, for the assist. You should be that guy. I know is probably more efficient dropping down into space compared to Kai Havertz, but believe me, I think it's the right time to drop one of them. Now we have
to drop one of them. We have to drop one of them.
We blame Kai Havertz all the time, and I understand because his performance, especially against Everton, was terrible the first game of the season. But this boy is also playing false nine. He's not a striker.
Yeah, that's why I said switch formation then. Switch formation and play them in their right position.
If we do this, if we have an actual striker that plays with Sterling at the top and let Havertz just be that guy behind them, drop Mason Mount to the bench, and in the midfield, we find someone that can actually pin a pass.
Before that, brother, let's make do with what we have. That's what I'm saying. This transfer window has how many days left?
What we have Ampadu, who could have played as a defensive midfield player. I know this is funny, but Ampadu is a very experienced player. Believe me,
he is. He has had experience.
We have Billy Gilmore that doesn't have a squad number. What has Billy done so wrong? His loan spell at Norwich was bad, but Billy is not a bad player.
He's not. Maybe he has to go to where he can
Billy replace Jorginho? If Jorginho is, what does Jorginho do that Billy would do bad?
Please, I don't even want to go there. I mean, Billy.
My boy Billy, they just threw Billy out in the cold.
Yeah, he should go on loan, man. He should go on loan. He should go on loan and get more experience.
I'm just saying, why is the manager not giving Chalobah, Ampadu, Billy Gilmore a chance to see what they can do?
The thing is this, in the back three we're playing right now, I think the only place those guys will be able to have their time and spot to play is in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Chelsea is full of midfielders everywhere. Look at how many midfielders we have.
To make matter worse, we signed Chukwuemeka, right? We are going to maybe sign Gordon, right?
And that's another midfielder.
That's okay. Now we are also linked with Zaniolo. Where are you going to play those players? That's not exactly what you need.
Switch formation. Get off the back three.
Why is he getting them?
Play back four. Aspi and James battling it out for the right back.
No, I don't think we can play. I'm not convinced of a back four is this. We cannot play back four without a defensive midfielder that can drop in between the two defenders.
That's what I mean. So you get one. Ampadu is a defensive midfielder.
But Ampadu is not a team. He's not.
Chalobah can also play in the defensive midfield.
He didn't play Chalobah. Chalobah was on the bench.
Kante comes back. Kante plays in his defensive midfield role and will not have to be going up and down like he used to do whenever we play in the back three, because that's what he has been doing for the past since he joined Chelsea.
When does Jorginho play once he do that?
If you play, then Jorginho can play number 8. Or if he's
You
not,
can't move. You know that guy can't. He's a snail.
no, but that is the thing. If you play a 1-4-3, a 1-4-2-3-1 formation, you have a number 6 that will cover the number 8 all the time. So even if Jorginho is not performing, then the number 6 will not have to travel too far,
For
but he will be
me,
there
once you move
protected.
Jorginho away from that sitting role, is a shit. Is a shit player. Don't move him.
Then
Because Jorginho
then
cannot play with space. He likes to be in a tight, tight midfield area, because that's how he shines more, right? He gets the ball, he looks around, tap it to the left, call for the ball, tap it to the left, tap it to the right. The moment Jorginho has space, he doesn't know what to do with the ball.
Then he will be able to. He will be able to get. He would see. I mean, he can put the
Whatever
pass
we
in.
want to do.
Or let's, even if he's not playing, then get him out. Put someone
That's
else.
what I'm saying.
But we have a lot of
Remember
number 8.
the last episode we had together, ask you, what does Jorginho bring to this team? Because Jorginho is like this. He's like a quarterback in American football. You've got to protect him, but it doesn't do enough to warrant that protection from the other members of the team. It's not like if you protect him, it's going to pin a pass into the box, right? Protecting Jorginho to do a sideways pass is a waste of time. So again, what I'm saying is this: we might drop N'Golo Kante, into that hole if you want to play back 4. So every time our wing backs go out and the center backs open, because if you watch a game of Leeds, Roca, which the manager has known for a long time, he drops in every time. He drops
that's
in.
That's what holding midfielders do.
Okay,
that's their job.
And then Tyler Adams was literally man marking Mount, right? So their center backs are marking Sterling and Kai Havertz. The holding midfielder step back into the space, and Tyler Adams was technically following Mount around. So every time we come into the attack, we have no option. What I'm saying is this: for us to be able to play a back 4, the only guy that can do the job of the holding role still remain Kante. Kante is a 30-year-old guy who is injury prone. What are we doing to address the situation?
That is what I'm saying. Remember, these are all midfielders that I believe that players are given specific instructions on what to do. If Kante is injured, you can play another person there. We have
Who's that person?
You can even play what's he called? You can even play Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the number 6. He just have to sit there. I mean, because of his physical presence, he can win the ball.
Bro, if I haven't told you before, Ruben is shit.
I don't believe that.
He is shit.
No.
He's a guy. He's a guy of multiple talent that doesn't even know his own best position.
I don't believe that Ruben is that player you're talking about. I don't believe that.
A guy that cannot put in 2 performances back to back will drop into the hole. He's a shit player.
I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he is that bad.
It's been a problem. And
he is a central midfielder. Remember, as the game went on, we switched formation. I think he dropped into the middle because we were being overpowered in the middle. We were being outrun in the middle.
Why did he substitute Jorginho?
Ask him. He will tell you he's tired. Anyway, all I'm saying is this. For an immediate, before we get all the other players that we're talking about.
We have 1 week. We need to get Fofana from Leicester before we play them this weekend because Koulibaly is out.
Yes, he's out. Then you play Chalobah. You play Chalobah, and then you play Aspi. 2 of them should be on the game sheet that day.
Now, what he's gonna do is gonna play Cucurella as left center back and start with Chilwell. You'll see, because we don't have a left-footed defender. So what he's gonna do for Koulibaly's role is gonna move in Cucurella, because that was the idea, anyways.
Then why don't you play a back 4? Maybe How many teams are playing? Actually, I was talking to my friend, and I said to him, listen, I have watched Tuchel's games in PSG. He didn't play back three in PSG. In Borussia Dortmund, he didn't play back three. Why is he playing back three in Chelsea? I think it's because back three had brought us, the last time we won the league was with a back three.
Because we suffered on a Lampard playing back four.
No. When we won
That's
the
why he
league
did
previously,
it.
did Mourinho play back three? No, we did not.
But
Did Ancelotti play back three? We never
Mourinho
played back
had
three.
we had a central defensive midfielder on the team. When
So
Tuchel arrived,
get one then.
okay, when Tuchel arrived, we didn't have one anymore technically because Kante has been pushed forward since Sarri came. And
Yeah.
Jorginho is that guy. And when you look at Jorginho, if Jorginho is going to be your opening guy, you have to think twice. Lampard did the same. He put Jorginho in the hole and moved Kante forward. So when Tuchel started whatever the problem had been at Chelsea, while they struggle under Sarri in the league, while they did the same thing with Lampard, you have to understand that the profile of player you have, you need to be able to make everyone safe. So what he did was
you play two central midfielders and play number 10.
Again, it's an obvious problem because he saw it. That's why he went to back five. So if it's a problem and Tuchel himself wishes to play back four, then he will have bought a central defender first before buying two defenders. Oh, or he will have bought a central midfielder first, rather, before buying two defenders. Again, you have to understand.
We will suffer
coming
with
into the team, but it's never going to change. Why do you say
whether with Fofana or whosoever? If that midfield is not resolved, if we don't switch to a back four with two, I say playing 4-2-3-1. That is my that's the formation that I'm suggesting that
it's
Chelsea
not gonna
should play.
It's not gonna happen because if he wants back four, then you already have Aspilicueta and Fofana. And Chalobah. If you have those two, then there's no need for you to play back five, right? Because he already have substitute. Then we also had Cowell before we sent him on loan.
Yeah.
So he doesn't value all those guys you were talking about, and it doesn't trust them enough to play in back four. If you don't want to play, if you want to play back four, why would you sign Cucurella?
Because Alonso was on his way out, and he can never.
But he also had Emerson.
Emerson maybe doesn't trust him.
Okay, it also have Madsen. Yeah, Madsen on loan at Burnley.
Oh yeah, he doesn't trust him too.
That's what I'm saying. So how many play? He doesn't trust three left backs.
No, the quality of them, the quality of those left backs, they are nowhere near what Chilwell offers.
What about Cowell that is sent on loan?
Okay, they are nowhere anything Chilwell offers. They are not anywhere. So you need to have quality in all even your first choice and your second choice must be of top quality. They must be of top quality. Look at Real Madrid, for example. Now, has Rudiger walked into the team to displace any of the center backs? No. He's still going to play on rotation. Oh, he's still walking. Exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that if you switch to a back four, what happens? You have a number 6 that will always be here to provide options here. You will always have the number 6 available. You will always have him. He will have to be here. You don't have to go all the way up. He doesn't have to travel all the way up like he used to do before. Go all the way up. No, just sit here. Just sit here. Let this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handle the job. If this guy is going to overlap,
we are going back to the same. But we're going back to the same argument. What was that player that will sit?
Kante sits there and he will have less work to do than just going up and down all the way here, wear and tear. That's what happens.
Okay, but Kante is not going to be fit the entire season. That's the point. That's the problem we have.
No, what I'm saying is, what you're not getting is this. If Kante comes back, you play him in a deep role.
When? Kante come back in 6 weeks.
Yes,
So we're going to keep losing games for the next 6 weeks?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You can... Now, there's a different thing, okay, that you play a back 3, right? And these two are always up and down. And these two are the only ones having to do the job here. and sometimes you expect them to go up. You play a back four, okay? Whosoever this can be any of the midfielders that you give specific task. Your job is to sit here, win the ball, coming back here, drop in here when we are defending on the sides, and try to do provide coverage here. What happens? Number 8 drops in here. Number 10 drops in here. Number 11 drops in here to support. What are we doing here? We're still defending with 5, and we're still defending with 4 in the middle. And then our number 9 drops in here. That's what I'm saying. Now, when we are attacking, number 9 is here going up. Number 7 comes in here, which is his position, okay? And the 10 push-ups here. And then we have the 8 here, we have the 6 here. And that's it. We have these 2 in the middle roaming here. One always providing option, does not have to travel all the way up here to do that. And then you have the 11, 10, and 7. Look at us. What is Arsenal playing?
Okay.
Why are they fluid?
Okay.
Yes, they have Partey, who is a 6, or they have Xhaka, who is an 8. So,
but again, I think the point you're missing is this: you change the system right now, and the only player qualifying now to play in that deep role is Kante. Kante cannot play 5 games in a row. It's not going to happen.
No, if you manage him properly, he can.
He cannot, because
no,
his injury has been persistent. Again, we assume the problem at Chelsea right now is we put this guy has been carrying almost every midfield except Cover. Cover can move around. But aside that, if you play
drop, that is, see, we also have another option in the number 8. So remove Jorginho. Let Jorginho come from the bench when he can, and when he wants to work hard, he'll play. And what I'm saying, what I need you to understand is that what I'm trying to explain is that if you play, let's say Kante comes back, right? He recovers. Meanwhile, we wait for him to recover. We have multiple midfielders that he can assign. Let's say
can play that position. Give me 2 players that they want to play in the hole.
Let's say put Ruben Loftus-Cheek there.
No.
Hold on. He is not a traditional 6, but you tell a player, this is what I want you to do. Win the ball, play to the 8 or play to the 10. Simple.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Ask you a simple question right now.
Go ahead.
If you're a manager at Chelsea and you take over and you want to play back 4 and there is no N'Golo Kante in your team, will you be in the market for a defensive midfield player? Yes or no?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so whatever you're saying right now, the moment that guy that you assign that position, which is Kante, is the only guy that can do that job to perfection. The moment that guy is injured, which will happen, it would disrupt the entire system.
No. What are the other midfielders doing in the team?
We don't.
Did Chalobah play in the midfield last season?
He actually played when it was on loan at France.
Okay.
Before he joined the team. What I'm saying is this.
Don't you think he can do the job? The job does not demand him to dribble up.
Every option is a makeshift. That's not what they do. So again, we go back to the point. Do we need a central midfielder that can play box to box, or do we need a central defensive midfield player right now? And the answer is yes.
We need a defensive midfielder.
The answer is yes. So why are we going to change formation to back 4 only to use makeshift players in that holding role if Kante is injured, which will happen?
Maybe Kante's in. Okay, I understand where you're going to, and I think we have dwelt we've had enough time on this Chelsea stuff, but what I'm trying to say is this: when you provide players, okay, we talked about Ruben being a jack of all trade and master of none. You mentioned that, and I told you that I love Ruben.
No, Ruben's shit player.
Because he's physically strong. That's number 1. Number 2, he can win the ball back, and But what I want you to understand is that a number 6 does not have to go box to box. A number 6 will just Casemiro. How many times do you see him going box to
If you don't
box?
go box to box, at least you have to be a Suchek. If you're not strong
No,
enough
how
to
many times does
protect,
Casemiro go back box to box?
none.
If
Hold on. None of those players, Jorginho, Ruben, Trevor, can protect the back line. The main job of that guy is to make sure he protects his defenders. You're asking the manager to do a makeshift, formation.
I'm not
No,
telling
it's
you to
not.
do it.
Again,
Anyway,
it's not gonna work. I mean, bro,
it will work
hey,
with all the
coach,
midfielders.
you cannot you cannot convince me otherwise. No, no, no,
I,
no, 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 no. It's not gonna happen. What
I'm
we
not.
need,
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm telling you my own
I
opinion.
ask you if you will buy a player if there's no content in the team, and your answer was yes, which means every other player you're trying to fit into that position, that's not their job. I understand you can coach a player into playing a certain position, doing a certain role, but then again, you want someone that will line up with a team week in, week out, and 100% fit. If
So
Fabinho,
you know why he's not being fit. You know why he's getting injured and getting back and getting injured because he still keeps doing the same job of
because he's
going
getting
back and forth.
older, he's getting older.
No,
He's
it's
a
no.
guy that
He's
plays with his
going
energy.
up.
It's
Yeah,
not
he's
gonna last
going
forever.
exactly, but he's going up and down, up and down, up and down all the
If it's
every
in
time.
Syria, maybe it's easier for him. This is Premier League. His life will never get easier.
Yeah, but the thing is this: if he was just sitting and playing in this role here, his job is not to carry the ball up here. His job is not to run back again and win it back. There's two different things, and that will give N'Golo Kante a much more longer life in playing football
He's not.
from what his
He
age
probably won't
now.
get a new contract anyways with Jorginho. I mean, if it's on the treatment bed, it's unlikely to get because we have 5 to 6 weeks out, and before he's match fit, match ready, we're talking 2 months. The World Cup is in November. I mean, it doesn't make any sense right
Oh
now
man.
if Tuchel is not scratching his head. I'm not going to have this player for almost 2 months, and you're not scratching your head right
Anyway,
now to bring in reinforcement.
let's move on. Yeah, that's all for Chelsea. And I know that you pissed off with the results, but that's enough of Chelsea. I think whether I was able to communicate sense into you or not, we've all had, we're looking forward to Leicester next
We
weekend.
need a replacement for N'Golo Kante. We have to do it now, this season, not next season.
I don't know if we'll be able to do that now. I don't know. I don't know.
We have the money.
But and yeah, whatever. Um, City and Liverpool. What is happening? Well, City are where they want to be, although not top, but where they want to be.
Liverpool, it's obvious, right? It is obvious. I think they have about 12 senior players, and you know that their engine room. We've got Fabinho, Thiago, Naby Keita, all of those guys on the treatment bed.
Why didn't
Fabi-
Fabinho not start today's game?
he wasn't fully fit, and the manager doesn't want to risk him because he has to manage them because he doesn't know when the rest will be back. So if you don't know when Thiago Silva will be back, Naby Keita, I don't know what's going on with that guy. And you have to start a 36-year-old Milner with Anderson in the midfield with Elliott. The midfield was a mess, and United overran them.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so that's their problem. And I'm not sure if it's going to go into the market right now, but Liverpool, that's what I'm trying to say about Conte. Liverpool needs that player that can play week in, week out. They've had the same injury problem with Thiago since he joined them. Yeah, and to make matter worse, their top striker was recorded for a stupid thing, just like Koulibaly did, pulling player twice.
See, if you had a number 6, no matter who it is, I don't believe that Koulibaly would have done that because
it does it in Syria every time.
Oh my.
It does it. It's not the same thing. It's the way he plays. He uses physicality to scare off players, which is normal for a defender like him. But what I'm saying is this: no matter what, either you have a 6 or you have 25 6s around you, you shouldn't have committed the same offense the second time around.
Oh my. Anyway, To wrap this up, let's look at next fixtures. We've passed the time that I wanted us to be on this show, but you know what football does. Emotions rise, more things to talk about, and we can stay here till tomorrow and we've not finished because I know we can continue arguing about Chelsea and what to do and what not to do. Anyway, Tuchel has got all the money right now. If he doesn't use it well, he's gonna end up like Lampard. Anyway. Next weekend, what are your predictions? I hate this weekend because my fantasy is messed up, but anyway, let's not go into fantasy right now. Next weekend, Southampton plays Man United, Brentford, Everton, Brighton, Leeds, Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, Bournemouth, City, Palace, Arsenal, Fulham.
I mean, but I'll be honest with you, it's very difficult to predict games now. And we've had the first 3 weeks. It's been miss and eat actually my predictions. I didn't expect United to win today, but then again, we can say maybe Liverpool was not up to it, and that allowed United to capitalize.
Yeah.
With their performance today, of course, you expect them to win against Southampton, but that also depends on the lineup the manager pulls out, right? Because in the last game against Brighton, when he substituted Martinez,
yeah,
in my mind, I'm like, that's your prize asset. It's the player you spend over 50 million to. Why don't you remove Maguire? Why don't you remove Shaw and move Martinez to the left back? Why do you do that to your most expensive player? But then again, today you realize, again, manager make mistakes. He realized what he did wrong in that game tactically. He benched Shaw today and Maguire. Those were the guys he should have subbed in that game against Brentford.
You know, as coaches, every decision we take or we make is a risk.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works,
sometimes it
doesn't work, and we have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work, and when it works.
Actually, today he used the F word on Sky. He said, "Oh, they can play F in football after the game," because he was impressed by what he saw. But again, what we can tell now is the energy on that left side of defense, which you don't have with Maguire, right? So when you have Martinez, Martinez can kill you, even though he's a shorter guy, right? He's a guy that is ready to go into battle with you. So I expect him to win that game.
Yeah, it also depends on the way a team plays. Liverpool is not a team that will always go direct. That's a thing to do. You know, he played that with Martinez. I think why he removed him because Ivan Toney is tall, huge. Da Silva, Brentford had very physical players, tall and strong and quick too. So can he cope? Maybe he cannot. That was why he removed him. You have to look at that too. Anyway, so you're not going to do any predictions for this coming weekend?
It's tough, but I'll say again, United to win. Chelsea, I'm not sure what we would do with our defense line, but Leicester, they're not in the right place right now. So hopefully we'll pick up the 3 point. Brighton Leeds is a game I'm looking forward to.
So what's your prediction on that?
I think there'll be goals. There will be goals in that game. I'm not sure how many, but it's the kind of game you want to predict 4 goals for. I'm not just sure which team will have.
Bournemouth.
Liverpool
will beat Bournemouth. That's not a prediction.
They haven't had a win this season.
Yeah, Man City, Palace.
Zaha is in great form right now, and if he can do the exact same thing Maximin did to Manchester City, maybe they can sneak a point.
That guy, we should have bought that guy sometime. Arsenal, Fulham. That's another topic for another day. Hold your peace.
Well,
Arsenal, Fulham.
this is the game to test the solidity of Arsenal defense, because we know what Mitrovic will bring. So if they can keep their head in this game, then we might need to shift our opinion about Arsenal if they get 3 points in this game.
I think they'll get 3 points on this game. And I think they will get 3 points on this game. It's a London derby. It's like
But they haven't played against a bullish team yet.
yeah,
Like,
they
yeah,
have not,
we'll
but we'll
see.
see.
Yeah.
Fulham has come different, seeing their first game against Liverpool, right?
Liverpool, yeah,
So
they've
we'll
been
see.
strong. They
Yeah,
haven't lost too. Yeah,
Villa West Ham Sunday.
I don't know what's going on with Steven G. I don't
Welcome
know.
to the Premier League.
This week, he's got Ings in the starting lineup. The following week is Buendia. I don't know what's wrong with him. He kept rotating. And what a bad luck. They signed Carlos so they can put Minks on the bench. And Carlos rupture is, I think, his ankle or knee, and he's going to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's bad for them. Their defense remain Concert and Minks, and Minks is full of
Int.
errors. No, Minks
Is
in
it Mint?
defense.
Oh, yeah,
Minks
Mint.
in
Sorry.
defense, Inks in
Yeah.
attack. So
Oh,
and
yeah.
mixing
Int,
Minks is
Mints,
Inks and yeah, it's full of errors.
Mints and Int.
So we'll see what happens.
Wolves Newcastle will be an interesting game too. Who do you go for?
Wolves, to be honest, they are not very solid, but Nunez in their midfield, which I think is another player we should have signed. To be honest, Bissouma and Nunez, Neves, those are the kind of guy we should be going for. He is, I think he played his first game. Hopefully, maybe he settle well. But they are tough game to predict. They are just difficult.
Okay.
Newcastle is good. Newcastle
Yeah.
they're flying.
They're alive.
Yeah.
They're alive. Nottingham Forest Spurs. The team with almost 24 players on.
I hope they will be Spurs. I wouldn't like Spurs to continue because again, we talk about the mentality of the team. If Spurs keeps getting, they don't play beautiful football because that's what Conte does.
Mm-hmm.
But they always manage to get a point. If they manage to get a point now, the belief will start growing among the players. So I hope Forest can do some damage to their confidence. That's just my hope.
Yeah. Anyway, well, an hour 23 minutes of talking football.
We're
Wow.
fine.
Anyway, guys, we really thank you very much, Vic, for sharing and bringing your arguments to the table. It's always fun.
I never disagree with you,
you.
coach. I just want a new midfielder.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you again on the show, brother, and I'm looking forward to the next one already. And
Yes, sir.
and yeah, guys, that's all we have for now. Thank you very much, and remember, subscribe and hit the like button, please. We beg you. Okay. If you need me to get you some chocolate to do that, just give me your address and I'll send them over. But hit the subscribe button and the like buttons. We will appreciate you for that. And to support our good work from here. From all of us here in the studio, Global Premier Football, want to say thank you again for tuning in. Thanks, Vic. I know it's your kids might be back right now. Thanks, because they have not shown up on the camera. So that's okay. Even if they came by, it's all fun. That's why we love football, isn't it? It's family stuff. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. We say thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your day, whether it's night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.